Hola y saludos. Estamos aquí con Néstor Marrero de Elegancia Events. Va a hacernos un anuncio. The Wiz Photography ha trabajado con Néstor Marrero for many years y estamos aquí to make this announcement. So the first thing I want Néstor to say hi to the audience and start the introduction of the event that he's hosting coming up.
Well, thank you for having me here, Roberto Tremera. Like he mentioned, my name is Néstor Marrero. I am the owner of Néstor Marrero's Elegancia events, and we're pleased to introduce or to present our second annual grand opening for Holy Spirit, which is the Grand Ballroom. We're doing the Elegancia events experience, which is basically showcasing my 2024 trends, as well as our preferred vendors at our venue. So it's going to be a wedding and quinceañera expo with designs that I have designed for either clients or for potential clients of this year.
That's awesome. You know, Néstor Marrero and Elegancia Events is very important to the Wiz Photography. Most of our Latino quinceañeras coming from Néstor Marrero, and it's a pleasure for us working with him because his attention to details and the way he treats the client is top-notch, world-class service, and it's always a pleasure working with him. We have worked many years together, but Néstor, since when you start doing this and start working with events and with the community?
Well, before anything, I want to say thank you for that intro. And of course, you know, we love working with you and your business because you complete our package. You know, I think a lot of times people want that wow factor, which Elegancia Events gives them when they walk in. But the number one thing is knowing how to pick that number one photography, because memory at the end of the day is what they're going to have left, you know. And even though we create this memory for them, we need someone that's going to capture it for lifetimes of memories, and that's where you come in.
Awesome.
So to answer your question, when I started the business, back out in 2008. In fact, our first wedding came out in Real Simple's wedding magazine. It was for a former colleague of mine who worked with me in social services. She was an international social worker, and some way, somehow, someone in her wedding party wrote into Wedding Simple's Real Simple's wedding magazine, and they edited they highlighted, the event, and my name and my work was exposed.
Wow, that's awesome. You see, sometimes that happens when you're a good person, you do the right things, the right stuff comes through you.
Yeah,
you know?
It was definitely a blessing, and then from there, it just, you know, with God's help, it just expanded. You know.
Yeah. How was your breakthrough? When just everything, like the door open and.
So I would have to say, you know, I've gone through steps and we're still evolving. You know, I think every year you get better and better, and every year you learn something new. You know, this is one of those industries where you learn things as events go, and, you know, and there's different trends. So it's always a learning experience. But I would probably say my first breakthrough was when I was introduced to St. Mary's Crystal Chalet, which is located on Biddulph and State. So that was back that was when I was planning my niece's Sweet 16, and now she's about 20-something years old. So that kind of opened up the doors to people knowing who Néstor Marrero was and Elegancia Events.
Yeah, you know, I remember Crystal Chalet. We have a lot of great events there. Got a lot of great people we met there, clients, and it's great collaborate, do things like this, you know, because we are one family, the Latino family. We try to stick together and do these events together. So what would people was gonna be expecting on your event?
So one of the things that I could say that people are going to be expecting is my interpretation of what 2024 designs to me are. You know, I think every year they always send out the trends of what 2020 or whatever that year is the trends for weddings and quinceañeras. With me, it's more of what I've discussed with clients or what I've surveyed with people and just put together, so it's going to be more of my interpretation of the 2024 trends. So, when people go online and they look up what are the trends for 2024, you'll see what the trends are, what a lot of the brides are looking at, or what the quinceañeras are looking at, where more for me is me highlighting me as a designer. So kind of seeing what's out there and adding my twist to it.
Every year is new trends,
Exactly.
new colors, new things, because technology change, everything change, and we have to adapt.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we stay behind.
Right.
So we gotta be one step ahead of everything else. So, Nestor, you've been doing this for so long. Have you ever done like a celebrity, somebody well known
Actually, yeah. I had the honor of working with Jose Feliciano. So we did. It was something. He came into one of the public schools, and we did a luncheon. So we were able to do something for him, and then we were also able to. Wasn't a celebrity, but it was more of an amazing person. It was someone who was exonerated for a crime that he didn't do. So I was able to do his wedding, which was a blessing. He was a humble person, and we were able to do his huge wedding at the Science Center. So I've also worked with different other celebrities that I've encountered, whether they've been guests of some of the events that I have. What a lot of people don't know is that even though I was doing my events here in Cleveland, I've also done events in different states. A lot of it for family, but also for co-workers. For when I worked in the airlines, I've done some weddings outside of the Cleveland area.
It's crazy for me because I don't know them until after I do the, it was a Channel 19. Me and my wife did this guy wedding, and she came, sign a contract. I go do the wedding, I do everything, do the book. And then one day I was looking at Channel 19 and he was an anchor there.
Yeah.
So it's amazing sometimes you do things that I've been on weddings where best man was Hanford Dixon, and
wow.
It's awesome that you service people that you admire also.
Right.
Yeah. So the event, how many vendors you gonna? What kind of class of vendors you gonna have?
So of course, I have my own preferred vendor. Preferred vendors, you being one of them. But this year we're I'm opening it up to a couple of people that I have been working with, that I see their potential, and they're just amazing people that just need a little boost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that you said it well earlier when you mentioned that we're kind of like a family, and in your family, you choose and pick who you want to work with. And this is nothing personal towards anybody else, but you learn to know who you gravitate to the most. And one of the biggest things that with me with Elegancia events is that when we work together, we work as a team. So for example, if you're a DJ, you're coming in and let's say you're short staffed and you need help, at the end of the day, if I know that you not being set up by a certain time is going to, form some type of integrity into the business, and you have to jump in and help out, So as an event planner, I have my preferred vendors of who I want to work with, from people who make cakes to actual bakers to florists to choreographers, videographers, DJs. So pretty much everything that kind of creates a whole event. But at the same time, like I said, there's some younger people. And when I say younger people, I'm not saying age. Maybe they haven't been in the field as long, but they're just as good as me, if not even better. And I kind of want to make sure that they get highlighted too, without having to put out $2,500 to do an event, So this gives people the opportunity for them to actually grow also and get their foot wet.
The competition is good. It's good to be collaborating and competition.
Right.
It's a one thing.
Right.
Because the competition make you better.
Correct.
And then the collaboration make friendships.
Right.
On your same thing you do. You know,
Right.
photographers. You know, how many weddings? I cannot do all the weddings. You know,
Exactly.
so I need people on my cycles that are able to do what I do, because if I don't have the data, I'm able to suggest
Right.
somebody else on my community.
Right.
You know, so that's where I like people to educate themselves about photography, how important it is, because these are big events that we do. People
Right.
spend a lot of money.
Definitely.
So we want to give back what they pay for, you know,
Right.
and they have memories for a long time. Néstor, for those interested on your service, how they can contact you and find you online.
So definitely social media, Instagram, Facebook. If not, you can visit us online at www.nestoreleganciaevents.com, or they could just call us directly at 216-533-4471.
What's the number again?
Oh, it's 216-533-4471.
Yes, Elegancia Events is a premier service for weddings and quinceañeros and corporate events. So it's recommended by the With Photography, and we're thrilled to participate on this expo with Néstor and the other vendors. And it's gonna be a fun day. It's gonna be awesome. See everybody's work, and have a great night all together. Well, Néstor, how much lead you need for people they want to book you?
So we tend to open up our calendars about a year ahead of time, just to give people, some time. I will honestly say that, depending on the time of the year, if it's a off wedding peak season, where events aren't at high demand, we've done events as little as 4 days in advance to 5 to 6 months. But for the most part, so that we could make sure that everything is done in a timely manner, so that the actual bride and groom or quinceañera's parents aren't as stressed out. We recommend at least a year ahead of time.
Okay. Especially if you want an event in the fall. Everybody wants fall events, and the books fill really fast. So be aware of that detail. Well, Néstor, to finish it up, microphone is yours, so you can tell the people. Look at the camera and tell the people how they're gonna find you on your event, the time and address. And
so once again, we cordially invite you all to our 2024 the Elegancia Experience Expo, which is for wedding and quinceañeras. That will be held on Sunday, February 25th, 2024, from 4:00 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Grand Ballroom, which is located at 5500 West 54th Street in Parma. We are inside of the facility of where Holy Spirit is at. It's just that we have the Grand Ballroom, and we also have the Garden View Ballroom. So again, that's February 25th from 4 to 8 p.m. 4 to 8 p.m. February 25th, I'm sorry. From 4 to 8, yep.
February 25th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we're excited to have you here on the With Photography podcast. We want to invite, if you have something coming up and you want to come down, we're open to do a podcast for you, collaborate and cooperate with our community and our businesses around. So, Néstor, thank you for stopping.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure always spending time with you, and I'll see you on the 25th from 4 to 8 p.m. at
the Grand Ballroom of Holy Spirit.
Have a good one. The address again?
5400 West 54th Street in Parma, Ohio.
See you then. Bye-bye.